Everybody, time for more Dog-Matic Theology with me, Cale Clarke from the Faith Explained Institute, and of course, Poppy. Hey, Poppy. Yeah. Well, today, of course, is a Class A feast day. It's a solemnity. It's the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary, August the 15th. And I want to talk about 4 reasons why you should believe in the Assumption. Number 1, if you're a Catholic or you aspire to be, you have to believe in the Assumption of Mary to hold the Catholic faith. It's one of the 4 Marian dogmas that are part of our teaching, infallible, on faith and morality. The other ones are, of course, the fact that Mary is the Mother of God. The second is that she's immaculately conceived. The third Marian dogma is that she's a perpetual virgin, ever virgin. And then, of course, the last one is this one, the Assumption of Mary. And that's the teaching that at the end of her journey on earth, she was taken up body and soul into the glories of heaven. So that's the first reason you should believe this, because the church teaches it. And really, this doctrine rests on the exact same foundation as all other infallible teachings of the church. For example, transubstantiation, the real presence of Jesus in the Eucharist, or the canon of the New Testament, the list of 27 books that are inspired scripture. Both of those teachings, along with so many others, rest on the authoritative teaching of the Catholic Church. Here's another reason why you should believe in the Assumption, and it's simply this: there's great circumstantial evidence for it. Historically speaking, I wish I had a blow-by-blow account of the Assumption narrated in the New Testament. We don't have that, but we do have this. We do have the fact that there has never been a group of Catholics or a church anywhere in the world claiming to have the relics, the physical remains of the Blessed Virgin Mary. This is absolutely unbelievable if you think about the fact that relics are so important in Christian history. In fact, many great churches and basilicas are built over the resting places, the final remains of some saints. Think about St. Peter's in Rome. It was always taught that St. Peter's was built over the grave of Peter, who was crucified, according to tradition, upside down under the persecutions of Nero. Well, in the 20th century, they did find the bones of the fishermen in the caverns underneath St. Peter, right directly under the high altar. And to this day, every altar in every Catholic parish around the world has some kind of relic of a saint within the altar. It would have been the grand prize of all saint relics to have the remains, or some part of the remains, of the Blessed Virgin Mary, the one who gave the Word flesh, gave Jesus the physical body that he used to redeem us. He still has today, resurrected from the dead. So the fact that no Christian church has ever claimed to have that, I know it's an argument from silence, but not all arguments from silence are bad. This one really speaks volumes that nobody ever claimed it. That strongly suggests that it's in accord with tradition that she was assumed into heaven, body and soul. Another thing I want to say is that there is biblical precedent for the Assumption. Again, I wish I had an account in the New Testament of the Assumption. There are some in apocryphal literature. They're kind of sketch for other reasons. That's another show for another day. But in the book of Genesis, we have this figure of Enoch, this very holy man, according to Genesis 5, and also it's echoed in the New Testament in Hebrews 11, who walked with God, it says in Genesis, and was no more. The general feeling from interpreters is that he was, in effect, assumed into heaven, translated into heaven, body and soul. Then we have Elijah in 2 Kings chapter 2, who was taken up into heaven in a whirlwind in a chariot of fire. So assumptions do happen. God makes assumptions, you could say, in Scripture, in salvation history. And then, of course, we have Revelation chapter 12, where John the Revelator actually sees heaven opened and the Ark of the Covenant, the Ark of the New Covenant, Mary, within the heavenly temple. And then one last thing I would say is simply this. The Assumption is really, really important because it speaks of our own future, our own destiny. Mary was the first Christian, the first person to say yes to God's plan to redeem the world through her son, Jesus Christ. She agreed to it, participated in it as no one ever could by giving the Word flesh, like we talked about before. And the fact that she was taken up body and soul into the glories of heaven speaks to our future in heaven. God will reunite body and soul in eternity, the new heaven and the new earth. This is what Revelation talks about too, and it's what we have to look forward to. Our mother in heaven, Mary, waits for her children there to come home, and prays that we have safe passage on the way. This is Cale Clarke from the Faith Explained Institute. If you'd like to join me and Bishop Donald Hying from the Diocese of Madison, Wisconsin on pilgrimage in Poland in Easter, speaking of resurrection, in 2027, you're not going to want to miss this. Go to canterburypilgrimages.com/Cale, canterburypilgrimages.com/CALE for more details. And of course, go to my website, caleclarke.com, CALE, Clarke with an E. And you can, of course, sign up for my website newsletter, which we send out from time to time to let you know about all the stuff that's coming up, talks, pilgrimages, and much, much more podcasts. Until next time, I'll see you later, and happy feast solemnity of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary.